Good evening and welcome to virtual Kevin Harvick's Kern County Speedway in Kern, Kern County, California. SRN President here, Jonathan Byer, with my counterpart Cody, with you again this evening for the Steel Graphics and Designs Summer Series, round number 7. Only a couple races left on the season. But here tonight we tackle the Kevin Harvick's Kern County Raceway, located in Bakersfield, California. Holds 15,000 here in the grandstands. They broke ground on it just over 18 years ago. It opened about 6 years later. Was formerly known as Kern County Raceway Park from 2013 to 2022 until Kevin Harvick purchased the property. They hold ARCA Menard Series West races and weekly Advanced Auto Parts Series races within the NASCAR circuit. It's a half-mile asphalt oval with 8 degrees of banking in the straightaways and 12 to 14 semi-progressive banking in the corners. Prior to after 2015, they also have a clay dirt track out here as well. That's a 1/3 mile in length. We're not going to be running that version tonight. We're going to be out here on the asphalt. But first time I've seen this track, and it looks really racy and a lot of fun. Just a more sweeping version of Bristol, if you will, with about half the banking. So we'll see how this plays out. We've had a really good start to the year already. Last week's winner was Ben Park at North Wilkesboro. That was round number 6 on the season. So we've had many different winners already this season. A quick rundown of the points before we get started. After 6 races, our championship leader is Connor Cunningham, that driver of the number 24 Chevrolet. He's got a 4-point lead on Andrew Harris in second, and then Josh Fox in third. All 3 of those drivers race winners. David Davis in fourth. He's the highest of a non-race winner in points. And then last week's Ben Park winner jumped up from 9th to 5th in the point standings. Pretty soon, we'll be paying out that championship prize. So we're going to look forward to that. Qualifying is just wrapped up. The field is getting down on the pit lane. So let's get down there. Let's see what this race grid looks like for you. That's popping up on your screen. Jason Green, Sean Woodside, your front row. So Cody, for the first time in 3 weeks, we have broken up the Park Brothers Racing parade on the front row. But well, if you look at the next row, they're right back there. Michael Codwell will come and start P number 5. Sean Corcoran in 6th, and the rest will scroll across your screen. Cody, I know this track is a little newer to me than it is you, but what are you thinking we're in for this evening?
I think we're in for side by side for a bit of the race. I mean, you can do a lot of stuff on the high side as well as the bottom. You can just run it side by side. You have no issues. Just the fact that you just gotta learn what the front person in front of you is doing, because if their breaking point is earlier than yours, then you're definitely gonna hit them. And yeah, it's a fun track. I enjoy it when I was racing it, so you can't have any much more fun than you can here.
Well, we're looking forward to it. Starting shotgun on the field tonight is Andrew Harris. We're 13 cars strong here tonight. A little bit smaller field this evening, but that's okay. It's a smaller racetrack, so that might just be what the doctor ordered. Coming up after this, though, we have a couple races left on the season. We will go to the Milwaukee Mile next week and then finish the season at Charlotte on August 5th. Hope you can join us for all of that. So pace car is going to do a full extra pace lap here because it is a half-mile racetrack. So all night long on the left side of the screen, there's your scoring tower with all the good information you need. 90 laps here tonight. We'll have our halfway break around lap 45. If there's a caution within 5 laps of that lap 45 point, that could serve as that halfway break. Just a regular caution for us to get some commercials in, to pay for some of the bills here at Speed Racing Network with some of our partners, and then for the drivers to get a chance to reset. They should not have to pit under green for any regular service items, but I'm sure we'll have at least a couple cautions where strategy can become a factor. Pace car heads to the safety of pit lane behind the concrete barriers and the cones. Jason Green leads us to green flag action here at Kern County.
They did really good going into turn 1 and exiting turn 2. That is a good sign.
Yeah, a little bit loose off the corner there for Connor Cunningham in the back, but he was able to hang on to it. But like you said right before we got the green flag dropped here about the multi-lane action, and you're already seeing it. I think a lot of that, too, has to do with that progressive banking.
That's correct. It's really good to have that banking, and
Jason Green hanging it out sideways there on the bottom, was able to save it. I think his teammate back there cut him a break. Sean Woodside, who, this is his first race of the season, finding himself up front already.
that's impressive.
Yeah. And hey, look, that number 45 is blank, and so this is also a good sponsorship pitch for him too, right?
It definitely is. Anyone who wants help and wants to join him, that would be a good time.
And he's one of our SRN regulars, so I have a good reason to believe he'll be here for season 8 coming up pretty soon, and so I'm sure I'll be looking for partners for that too. So reach out to Sean Woodside if you're interested. That great race car driver, and he's out to a good lead here early. Kind of top 2 breakaway here, Jason Green and Sean Woodside. And to me, it's just no surprise to see Jason Green up front here. Just so good on these short tracks. But one thing also we just see him do time after time is he knows he's not the best tire saver out there. He goes and gets all he can early in the run to develop as big of a lead as he can and kind of just sits down on it. And so the 45 is hindering his plans of doing just about that right now. But we'll continue to see how this develops. Let's take a look a little further back here. Ben Park, last week's winner in 17, he's got them all stacked up back here behind third place.
Yes, I've been watching that too, and I think that he's doing a good job holding his line. He has got loose a few times, as well as everyone else behind him has as well. I keep watching the 43, I believe that's who I'm talking about.
Oh, we got a wreck up front.
Wreck, 45.
We're trying to get down to it, but the cars are moving so fast. And those were our leaders. We were just about to go back to that battle. And, well, the battle took care of itself, I believe. Let's take a look here.
It looks like...
Ooh, Jason Green.
Yes.
I mean... Huh. Kind of got a really brief look at it there.
It looked like Jason Green ran out of room.
Yeah. Just looks like the 45 was there coming off the corner and they just ran together. I don't know how the 55 didn't get hit by anybody else. Because, I mean, well, I don't know how. Watch this right here. 55 just locks it down right in the racing groove. Sean Corcoran almost just broadsides him.
From what I've learned so far in this league, that is the talent in this league. They're very good at what they do, and they know what to do to avoid wrecks. So.
All right, this will be a really good look at it here. This is on board with the 43 of Sean Corcoran.
Right in the middle of going into the corner too.
You see that battle up there, so he's sitting here watching this. You see him so tight. I believe it's coming up right here. A half-mile track, things happen really, 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 really fast. So you just have to be reactionary. Watch this right here. Oh, that was close. That'll be a little bit lucky though sometimes, don't you, in racing? That's just part of it. Well, the 55, Jason Green came down to get some new tires, and understandably so. 45 also came down pit road to repair that rear end damage he had. And looking at it right now, I mean, obviously it's not perfect, but probably a lot better that he hit the rear of the car on the inside wall than the front. So I think the 45 will be okay.
I think you're right. I don't see any critical damage.
Look at it here. Here's the impact to the rear. Kind of square too. And I think luckily for him too, that rear bumper cover stayed on. Because if you lost that, that would have been trouble. Well, back up front now, Ben Park was gifted the lead. So last week's winner will get us back restarted here on lap number 12 from Kern County. Park clears to the lead. Forrest Hamilton Jr. drops in second. Michael Codwell in third. Pretty orderly restart here. You saw in that restart, Cody, I don't know if you caught it, but everybody got on the gas and nobody really went anywhere. All the cars looked a little sideways on that restart.
Yeah, they were all spinning their tires there for that second.
It's you see that a lot more on the short tracks, just that rear grip. You just don't have it right off the jump, so you kind of got let your tires come up to temps a little bit. In my experience, the more heat cycles you put on it, just the worse it gets as far as that's concerned. So try to limit the restarts even better. But Ben Park doing a great job out front. He's clear to the front, and the battles here in the backside of the top 5. Dan Park, Sean Corcoran, Andrew Harris just throwing haymakers.
I've been watching the 7, and he's been coming up through the pack.
Dan's somebody who either qualifies well or doesn't. Like there's no in between. But it always seems even if he doesn't qualify well, he still just makes his way through the field. So he's a driver, if you will, that always has pace, and that's always a good thing. But sometimes you got a little more work cut out for you in that night when you got to come up through the field. I'm a little surprised to see the 87 of Andrew Harris running all the way back here in 6th. He's somebody who's really, really good on the short tracks as well. And maybe he's just taking his time. Back up through here. See what direction that 87 goes. Back up front, Ben Park, biggest lead we've seen by anybody all night to this point. Just about half a second over the 3 of Forrest Hamilton. We have one car, a lap car, if you will, that, Forrest Hamilton Jr. gets the wall off of 2 pretty significantly. That's going to cost him at least a few spots here. Settles in right in front of the 43. So it goes from 2nd all the way back to 4th. And probably could have even lost a couple more there. He was able to settle it back in there. Andrew Harris now slots up to position number 5. I had my eyes on the 6. Eric Korst, a new driver with us here this evening, just kind of getting the bearings of things, right? He's doing a great job doing what a lap car should at a short track, just kind of being very predictable in your line, staying out of the way, and letting everybody get by the clean.
Yeah, that's always critical, is always having a lap car just try and make it known where he's going to stay so everyone can get around him.
And in real life racing too, you're underfunded teams, all the time. Oh, why are they out there? They're just in, they're 6 laps down halfway into the race. What are they doing? Everybody's got something they're racing for, right? You never know exactly what it is. But as long as they do their job and being consistent, staying out of the way, they can learn a lot from being on track with some of these other drivers like your Sean Corcoran and your Andrew Harris's that could go a long way as the development of them as a driver. And so, sometimes you're wondering what's going on there. Hey, everybody's racing for something different out there.
And you've got to start somewhere too.
That's right. Nobody jumps in this and goes fast, let me tell you.
That is correct.
It is tough out here. Ben Park continues to lead. Battle's kind of heating up for second. You talked about Mr. Dan Park in that 7 car just making it happen. And we were just talking about him, in 6th place? And here he is trying to get P2.
Yeah, I was watching him through the pack, and he was taking his time, and he was patient. And I didn't want to say he'd get up there, but he did in pretty quick time, too. It's only lap 24, and the caution was around lap 10. So he made a lot of positions up in that short amount of time.
One thing I noticed, too, is he's really just been committed to the bottom. I mean, I haven't seen him move off that first groove a lot. Now, he's not necessarily, right on the white line the entire corner, but he really hasn't run up the track any higher than that white line, the right side's on that white line. And we've seen everybody else at just a little bit higher. So, maybe he's found a little something there. We did have some contact back here. Robert Richardson and Jason Green had a little touch coming off the corner here, getting into 3. Oh, physical into turn 3, but both the 5 and the 55, so our group of 5s right here, kept it all together. So, on that, we have one other vehicle off the back of the pack. That's the 4 of David Davis, who's kind of just doing his own thing back here, but staying clean and out of the way. So that lead got to half a second and then kind of stalled out. But I'm going to be interested to see, now that we have Brothers Park 1-2, what this gap looks like, because Dan has been the fastest car on the track about the last 8 to 9 laps.
Yeah, he's been very smooth going into the corner. I've been watching and coming out of the corner. He's not over driving, and he's also searching for a little bit more speed by going up the track just a tiny bit.
There's a really good look at it for you right there, as far as the lap time history of what we're looking at there on the screen. Almost 2/10 quicker that last lap, and then just about matched this last time by. So, we say it every week, right? Getting to somebody's one thing, passing somebody's another. So, oh, the 7's loose. He saves it on the inside, no yellow. I don't believe he made any contact there because it did not register any contact.
No, he just got loose.
So, he's got more work to do again, unfortunately, for the 7. And those tires are not going to be happy with him here for a couple laps.
No, they're not. But at the same time, at lap, you were saying, I believe, 40, he should be able to pit and get new tires. So he'll be okay then.
Yeah, we have about just about 10 to 13 laps in that range before that halfway caution is thrown, and so he will get a chance to come replace those tires that are not happy at him. But all that track position he just worked to gain on this run, he just kind of just gave it right back. So he's going to kind of go back to the drawing board. You can just see how loose he is off the corner, and that's just once you light the rear tires up. Oh, Sean Woodside's around. Again, the 45 car is around, and looks to be a solo spin effort. Take a look. Yeah, gets loose off of 2 and does a good job just locking it up to not hit anything or anybody else. So he will regather the 45 and probably want to come get some fresh tires as well. So we'll stay on the lead lap. No problem. So interesting here. We got some split strategies. Unique pit road here because this is a short track that the National Series don't necessarily use for live pit stops. You have a cone in your pit box, and that's about it. But
yeah, that is strange,
they're pretty tightly spaced too. But these guys are going to come in and get service. They don't necessarily have to. Like we said, in 10 laps you're going to get that guaranteed caution. But staying out is the 7 of Dan Park, the 24 of Connor Cunningham, the 5 of Robert Richardson, the 11 of Josh Fox, the 4 of David Davis, and everybody else came down pit road for service. So the top 5 will be out there on old tires. Everybody else will have the 4 Mr. Feelgoods and presumably a full tank of gas, even though necessarily that's not a necessity, but for balance and handling of the car, we'll say it is. The 6 is your lucky dog recipient. He's on pit road now. He'll get his lap back, and that'll get all 13 cars back on the lead lap.
I'm impressed. I didn't think the 7 would stay out with him almost spinning there, but
yeah, I would agree. I would agree with you on that.
It's a bold strategy, let's just say that.
What I like here, you can almost think about flipping the stage, right, in NASCAR is how this is working out. Because you know you're going to get that caution here in a few minutes. And if I'm the 17, the 87, 21, it's kind of a no-brainer because I know in 10 laps I'm going to get my track position. But you will find out what 8 to 10 laps of tires actually mean, right? Because then you stay out, you run these 8 laps. Is that tire difference great enough to where somebody like the 7 can drive back through? 7 has to hope we go a large amount of green flag running backside of this race for that to work. Back to green, 53 laps to go from Kern County, Dan Park.
Cunningham is not making it easy on me either.
Oh, Connor Cunningham has locked down that top line all by himself, and he's going to actually take the lead off of turn 4. Connor Cunningham in sole possession of the lead. Dan Park drops back to second. Now Josh Fox wants to throw his hat in the ring. Battle here from back, and there's the first car on the fresh tires, the 17, the 87, the 21. Those are the guys that came down pit road, but so far, a couple laps in, they're stuck. Ooh, contact between the 17 and 87. Both of them keep them pointed the right direction. But man, it's like they got the roadblocks in front of them. They can't go anywhere.
That's short track racing at its finest.
Yeah, track position, I mean, no matter, yes, tires do make a difference, but when you're bottled up like this before it gets strung out, it's just hard to make hay. It's hard to get anywhere to go. Andrew Harris finally breaks through that little blockade. Oh, and he's going to get squeezed in the wall by the 5. No caution yet. Now we're all kinds of jumbled up here. Everybody keeps it pointing the right direction. I think, was that the 45 that spun there on the inside? It was. He's back on pit road. Rough night for Sean Woodside after getting to the lead early. Everybody kept it going there. Actually, that was a 45 coming down to clear a black flag. He did not have an issue there. I believe that was the David Davis machine before that got sideways. I can take a look at what happened off the corner here with the 5 and 87. Just squeezes them. See the full kind of half spinning in the background, and the 17 gets leaned on a little bit, but great job by all parties involved there, not for that to be a big incident. Josh Fox has had an issue. He is now running well on his own, half a lap behind the leaders. Oh, he got loose off too. Little half spin to the inside. Barely touches the inside wall. Caution. Connor Cunningham still up front. We should get that halfway break here at any moment. There it is.
So far, this first half of the race, I've noticed, and I think you've noticed as well, there's a lot of people getting loose at this track.
Yeah, especially out of turn 2. That seems to be the trouble spot we've seen. Either cars half spin by themselves or what have you. But we're going to take this halfway break moment to give our sponsors a little bit of love here at Speed Racing Network. We'll reset it when we come back to you in a couple minutes.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back with you here from the virtual Kern County Speedway. We've re-racked them. We've got some pit stops under the belts, and Michael Caldwell and Jason Green now comprise the front row. Sean Corcoran and Andrew Harris, the second row. Forrest Hamilton and Ben Park behind them. We'll get the restart here. 40 laps to go from Kern County. Starts right now. Restart from Michael Caldwell. The first time we've seen him lead laps here tonight.
It's always nice to see a new leader.
Easy to spot too in that bright green number 21. Usually we can find him anywhere on the track.
Yeah, he would not be hard to find.
Yeah. He's doing a great job staying in front of Jason Green. Jason Green's like, okay, buddy, you've had your time. It's my turn. Come get a piece of the action. You can't miss that red 55. We've seen that car up front so many times already this season, and he's trying to get back there in a hurry.
'87's going with them, too.
Yeah, here comes Andrew Harris. We all said, hey, surprised to see him run 6th, but we knew that wouldn't last long. He is making it work now in the 87. Jason Green clear to the lead. Here comes Andrew Harris for position number 2. And Sean Corcoran in the 43. Here he comes for position number 3. Sean Corcoran, always somebody who just races his race. It seems like every week we're talking about him at some point. He just makes his way towards the front. And fortunately, he's had a few circumstances not go his way. Otherwise, I believe he would have race winner already in this season. So he can have things go his way tonight and have a chance at it.
Let's see how he does.
Back here, Ben Park is under fire. Teammate Connor Cunningham is giving him all he can handle. Just a second ago, we saw Ben Park all the way up front, but then he has to come down pit road and get fresh tires. Get mired back in position number 7, and he really hasn't moved much. And almost getting more of a headache now from the guys racing around him than it was being out front on old tires.
He definitely could have stayed out inside it, but I don't think it would have worked, and he would have been back there anyway, so.
Yeah, you kind of have to just think on the point of, you feel like this race is going to go green or not, because if you're going to have a lot of stops and starts, a lot of cautions, staying out for that track position, that might work just the way you intended to. Honestly, that's how he won at North Wilkesboro last week, if you remember. He stayed out, and we were like, I don't know about all this. But then we had a lot of stoppages late, and he was just able to hold on to the lead. And so, that's one way to think about it. But also, if it's going to go green, well, eventually you're going to have to pay the price on those tires, right? So that's what makes all this so difficult. It's not always as easy as it seems. That's why those crew chiefs out there in the NASCAR land get paid the big bucks. And most of them are engineers now.
That is very true.
Battle back here, 4 and 11. David Davis, Josh Fox. All the way back to position number 10 we have battles.
I have noticed this track is racing, so.
It is. I do like the multiple lanes. Like I said, I did not own this track until today. This is the first time I'm seeing it, other than, what I've seen on the, Advanced Auto Parts Weekly series on Floor Racing and stuff like that. They've held races here, late model races that Keelan Harvick's driven in and stuff like that. But I've never seen it run on the sim, so the real life racing product doesn't always come across the same way in the sim. As we know from tracks like Martinsville and things like that, short tracks are hit or miss if they are really racy or not. But this one so far, really impressed with how it's driving.
I was hoping you would, because when I drove here for the first time, I didn't know if I'd like it, and it was great.
Kind of reminds me of like a little shorter version of Richmond. You got that kind of sweeping corner, a little bit of progressive banking, a lot wider. A lot more room to work.
Michael Codwell is trying to get up in the top 3, actually, and he's just biding his time behind the 43.
Yeah, Andrew Harris. Obviously, the camera's not on him right now because he's left the zip code. He's almost a second and a half in front of the 87 here, so he's kind of doing what he does. Like I said, legs out that lead, just tries to hold on to it. So from second on back, that's where we have the battle. And it's tightest right now. Here comes Dan Park back through the field. This is his second attempt at slicing through the field tonight. And hopefully for him, it's the last.
Yeah, he's worked very hard to get where he's been tonight. And like we were saying, he's had a few incidents where he just fell back because he got loose. So let's see what you're saying. Let's hope he comes back through and stays there.
Settled down for now, and everybody is pretty much single file. This 43-21 battles, the closest. Oh, Connor Cunningham. He spins it off 2 and keeps it going. I think he hit anything there, so that was impressive.
He hit the inside wall, but it was just to his side.
Okay, just a little bit. Just a wee bit for the 24. He continues. That just shows you, though, you can't lose focus for a second. I mean, if you're not dialed into what you're doing, that car can come underneath you pretty quick.
That's correct. Like, basically, you just run the same lap. You have your braking zones. You just hit your marks every lap, and you just focus on that.
Big loose off the quarter there for Josh Fox, the 11. He gathers it back up. Battles in front of them between Robert Richardson and Ben Park.
We have a battle with 43 and 21 right now.
Ryan Corcoran, Michael Codwell. We've seen this brewing for a few laps. And here's Dan Park. He's like, whoa, boys. I'm trying to march to the field again. You need to get out of my way. Meanwhile, these guys with this battle right here, they're losing time in 55 and 87. So, you know, with only 20 laps to go, Dan's probably hoping they get this sorted out pretty quick. That 7 car's moving though.
He was moving last time too.
Yeah, late in the run, like he was the fastest by far. You know, almost 2/10 faster than the leader lap over lap. And oh, a little contact there off the corner. 43 and 7 getting physical. Looks like the 7's going to prevail. We're going to be 3 wide off the corner behind them. That's going to get a little tight. Still 3 wide. I'll sort that out before they get to 1 as well. I thought they did, but we're back to 3 wide, and we've somewhat sorted it out for a second again. No position here at Speed Racing Network is easy to come by. That's the lesson you're learning right now.
Yes, I am. And Michael Codwell had to lift there, or there would have been an accident. So good on him for lifting, knowing what situation he was in.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, how many times do we see somebody not lift in that situation, and it piles the whole field up? That's just good for situational awareness. But, hey, you're like, hey, I can just come out here with a top 5 finish. That's a good day for me. And if I don't lift right here, I'm going to finish. So, risk assessment is what we call that. I'm a little surprised to see the 17 of Ben Park back here in 8th. I thought he would have got those 4 fresh tires, got back up on the wheel, and kind of made his way back towards the front, but that's just not happening for the driver with number 17 last week.
There might be some damage from earlier that he was thrown over.
Yeah, well, we did see him tap somebody on a restart and lose the whole front bumper cover a few weeks ago. So, yeah, I guess you never know what exactly happens. 43 gets a little piece of the wall there. That's going to allow the 17 to kind of wedge his way in here and be a good position. Let's check in up front. Jason Green, well, you don't see anybody else in this camera shot. It is just Jason Green in this zip code. Andrew Harris is second, but in his zip code, you find the 7 of Dan Park. So with 13 to go, if I'm the 7, I got to try to make quick work of the 87 to even have a chance to even think about seeing the back bumper of the 55.
You'll have to make up a lot of time between if he does get around to Andrew Harris just to get to the leader.
I mean, he's run faster than the leader the last few times by, but you know, 87's got a right to defend his position because the top 2 get paid out tonight. So, you know, Andrew's protecting a little bit of cash here. So, that's going to factor into things. That's not always something maybe our viewers think about, but, you know, we pay out a 1 in 5 ratio for this series in the summer. So, with 13 here tonight, that pays out first and second. So, you know, if that's $5, $10, whatever it is, you're going to be racing hard for that little bit of money.
That is true.
And every lap the 7 sits back there, you just worry about the time running out.
I was having high hopes for the 43 tonight, and I did not see him dropping back like he just did, and I thought he was going to do okay.
Yeah, he's dropped all the way back to position number 10 after we saw him get the ball a few seconds ago. I guess that damage is really causing him trouble. The 7 is doing all he can to try to get around the 87. You would think this is a battle for the... Oh, he's going to turn him! Oh, they're both turning. We got a caution. Oh, boy. Oh, look out. Oh, boy. May we remind you, those are teammates.
They're going to be angry teammates.
Be an interesting team meeting. Oh
Yeah.
man. Another look at it here. Yeah, the 7 just gets inside the 87, and that's just a short track spin. I mean, 87 maybe could have given him a touch more room, but there was still a lane there for the 7. 7 did a good job staying all the way against the line, so I don't really know if there's anything he could have done there either. You see it there. Just for me, that's just two guys going for the same piece of real estate on the racetrack.
It is, and that 7, he's going to have to, Daniel Park, he's going to have to come again from the back.
Yeah, I guess try 3 times, right? Luckily for both of them, I don't think the damage is too bad. I mean, they got into each other a little bit, and the 7 got the inside wall just a touch, but hit it at relatively low speed, so I think he's going to be okay. But, well, pit strategy is playing itself once again. Let's give you a lay of what's going on. Jason Green stayed out. He'll be position number 1. Michael Codwell stayed out. He'll be 2. Robert Richardson stayed out. He'll be 3. Dan Park stayed out after that incident and will be 4th. Forrest Hamilton stayed out and will be 5th. First car out there on fresh tires came down pit road will be Benjamin Park in 6th. And then behind him, David Davis, Andrew Harris, Josh Fox, Sean Corcoran, Connor Cunningham all on the lead lap. Sean Woodside has been the beneficiary of the last couple cautions. He is now only 1 lap down. So with 1 more yellow, he can get himself back on the lead lap. And then Eric Korsch spent extensive time on the pit lane. Coming back down right now, he's 24 laps in arrears, but making an effort to finish this race tonight. So interesting, you got the top 5 stayed out on pretty good age of tire, because we had a pretty nice green flag run there of about 36 laps. So this is where I do think maybe that tire advantage does play a factor, but when we restart with 4 to go, you're going to have to make really quick work.
I'm still impressed with 7 left here. I'm just saying that. I mean, they pitted, but at the same time, he's been resilient all night.
Jason Green, really good jump. 4 to go. He's going to be back to the solo lead. Michael Codwell slides into position number 2. This is the battle for the win. Oh, 87 hard off the outside wall in the back, which keeps it going straight, no caution. And Jason Green, 3 to go. You got to keep that bright number 21 forward behind him. So far, tires has not moved up the field. And there's not enough time left, I believe, for that to make a difference now. 2 to go for Jason Green. And Park really loose in the back, keeps it going straight, still in position number 5. With half a second lead, Jason Green's going to come grab the white flag. 1 more lap to go from Kern County. Final time through turns 3 and 4. That red number 55 Milwaukee Chevrolet has been the class of the field. Jason Green will win tonight at Kern County. Michael Codwell, P2. Forrest Hamilton Jr. rounds out your podium. And the celebration continues into turns 1 and 2. So again, a Park Brothers Racing driver wins after 2 of them getting into each other late. Jason Green comes home victorious for the 2nd time on the season. This is big for Jason Green. He was all the way back in 15th in points, but I guarantee you this is going to make a big dent in that effort tonight. Well, we're going to let the drivers find their way to the interview area so we can get to talk to them. In the meantime, let's take a look at the results here tonight. Jason Green comes home the winner. Michael Caldwell second. Forrest Hamilton Jr. third. Robert Richardson fourth. Ben Park fifth. Andrew Harris sixth. Dan Park seventh. Sean Corcoran eighth. Connor Cunningham ninth. Josh Fox 10th. David Davis in 11th. Sean Woodside in 12th. And Eric Horst in 13th. So, little 13 car field here tonight to make it happen. And just in time for all of that, our winner is here for us. Joining us now in the broadcast booth, driver of the 55 Park Brothers Racing Machine, Mr. Jason Green, for his second win on the season. Jason, how about it?
How about it? That was fun.
That looked fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was first time at this racetrack. Bought it about an hour ago. But it's funny. Ben and I were talking before the race. It reminds me of Richmond. It's a lot of, you can float 1 and 2 really, really nicely as long as you get to drive off of 2 without spinning your tires. But 3 and 4, unlike Richmond, I feel like in Richmond you can send it and kind of use the banking a little bit. Like, it's hard to use the banking with this car here. But you could still get a pretty good drive off of 4, and yeah, it's got to take care of your stuff. Once you get to that, then it's all money from there.
Yeah, Richmond was the comp I gave it to in this race. I didn't own the track until today, so the practice session was my first time seeing it on the sim. I've seen it raced and on flow for real life, weekly series stuff, but was interested to see how that translates to the sim, because as we know, short tracks don't always translate really well. But it looked real racy. You had a giant lead going. What goes through your mind there when your teammates get into each other behind you, and then now you have to fight off the whole field on a restart with less than 10 laps to go, and what went behind your decision to stay out?
Yeah, I mean, I was getting in a really nice groove there. I saw I was starting to open it up a little bit, and then it was like 10 to go. And you're like, just kind of hold it together. You could tell the car was getting even more and more loose off the corner. But then if the caution comes out, you're not going to win with any decision you make. If you come in and pit, people stay out. It's really hard to pass. So you have to make sure. Like, I don't think within like what we're restarting there with like 5 to go or something like that. I just don't think the tires would have made a difference. So stay out. But yeah, that first restart is just, you have to get clear and then just pray to God they don't start sending it in the corners, because they're right there and they could definitely try and get to you. So once you kind of get to a little bit of a lead there, and it's just kind of maintaining and making sure you're running clean lines and keep the momentum up.
Well, you executed it all really well, and that's why you're celebrating your second win on the Summer Series this season. We have the Milwaukee Mile coming up, and then we finish up at Charlotte. How do you feel about those tracks in this ARCA vehicle?
Yeah, I love it. I love Milwaukee. It's I think it's a lot more technical than people give it credit for if you really want to be fast. And we'll see how the tire wear is with this car. With the truck, it was pretty drastic, I would say, with the tire wear. So we have to just make sure, keep the tires underneath the view. So that'll be entertaining. I feel like that'll be a good one. And then Charlotte with this car it's a handful. I mean, once you get going at those speeds, and then there is some tire wear there too, where towards the end of the runs and stuff, like, you do have to make sure you saved a little bit, and especially I think with a little bit smaller car count than our usual SRN series, like you'll tend to go green longer, right? So you just want to make sure that you save something for the end. I remember when I first started, I would just burn up the tires like it was no other, and then it really starts to bite you. So I was trying to get better with that right now.
Well, in true SRN fashion, of course, that's where we're going to finish the season.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Before we let you go, who do you have to thank for your effort here this evening?
Yeah, gotta thank the folks. They still tune in every week. It's funny, this little half mile with a lot of the banking. I'm planning on going to the Silver Crown race at Salem Speedway, another historic half mile. They don't use the banking here like they do at Salem, but I'm looking forward to that, and just gotta thank you guys for putting on a great broadcast as well.
Absolutely, man. Well, we'll see you next week at Milwaukee, and it sounds like we're going to be looking at you up front a lot again next week.
Sounds good, man.
All right,
Talk
see
to you
ya.
then.
That was driver the number 55, our winner tonight, Mr. Jason Green. All right, next up, second place finisher, I believe, Michael Caldwell. Yeah, he's waiting on us. Cody, you got him?
Michael Caldwell, welcome to the booth, and congrats on your second place finish.
Good evening. Thank you. Figured I'd come in and hang out for a minute.
Yeah, we're glad to have you. So, what did you think of this race at Kern County, and did you own it before today?
This is my first, race with other drivers. It was fun, smooth for me, but fun altogether.
Now, what I just heard there. So, was this your first race like this year with this group?
No, that was just my first
Oh,
race on
sorry.
Kern Raceway.
Yes. Is there? So, what did you notice? Like, how did you compare this track? Like, we're Jonathan and I were talking about it.
May have lost connection.
Hello?
Jonathan, you
oh.
gotta take over. I don't know what happened.
There we go.
Or we
Well,
lost Cody.
Yeah, we had a technical. Anyway, we were comping the racetrack to Richmond with Jason and kind of the broadcast booth earlier. Is that kind of how you saw it as well?
I don't know. I'm not too familiar with either of them besides racing this one tonight.
All right. Well, you apparently are pretty good at this place thus far, right? So you have a good track record here. So we go to Milwaukee
You're right.
Wild next, and then we finish up at Charlotte. How do you feel about those tracks?
I was racing 6 months now, and Charlotte's probably my favorite track. So
Yeah, if you're new to iRacing, that's going to be a track you see a lot in a lot of those beginner series, so you're probably familiar with where all the bumps and seams are there already. It's a lot of fun in these ARCA cars. We're really looking forward to it. It's going to be kind of a firework finish, and in true SRN fashion, of course. That's where we choose to finish the schedule, where the fireworks are. But before we let you go, celebrate your second place finish tonight. Who do you have to thank for your effort here this week?
now, whoever's watching, thank you guys for putting it on. I've had a lot of fun racing with you guys, so something to look forward to every week.
All right, man. Well, we will let you get back to it, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks.
Michael Codwell, driver, the number 21, as we like to call the bright green Ford, here in the Steel Graphics and Designs Summer Series. Well, I felt like this was a pretty quick night. 90 laps were done before 9 o'clock Central Time, but it was a pretty clean race all the way through. So, there's a lot to, as the screen goes black. See, we can't make it through the whole night without some kind of equipment malfunction. There we go, we're back. Milwaukee next week will be an interesting track. Like Jason said, it's technical to really get good speed. Traditionally in SRN, we've run truck series races there the last couple seasons. So those races have kind of gone through spurts where like half the race is a lot of green flag racing and the other half is kind of a just dodge the landmines type situation. We'll see how the one develops here. And then it sounds like everybody's looking forward to the Charlotte race in the car. So we can't wait to get there and finish up the season. Updated point standings for this series will be available on speedracingnetwork.com here in just a couple minutes. So you can go over there and check that out. Real quick to shout out some of the partners that make it happen here on a weekly basis. Steel Graphics and Designs, they're a graphic designing team that makes some of the best iRacing paint schemes I come across. You saw the 7 tonight, you saw the 87, you saw the 24. That comes out of that division right there. They do a great job. You can contact Michael Steele for your custom wrap. They have a Discord server. You can also search them on social media and find out that. Admin box, which is in the bottom left corner, you've seen all night. It's a race control modular system that you just plug and play. Makes race control really easy. Even I can do it. LED backlight buttons make it easy. They're already pre-programmed. You just press them and things happen. You can use code SRN-box, that's BOXX, to save 10% on your order. Didn't get the chance to get through their message tonight, but ThermoPro is a continued partner here at Speed Racing Network. They make some of the best wireless meat thermometers for household use. I have an instant read myself. Great for summer barbecue season. You can use code ThermoProTeam to save 15% on your order from ThermoPro. Also, and you saw a message from earlier, and in the top right-hand corner of your screen all night long, Premier Racing Setups. They are the longest-running setup shop on iRacing with over 50,000 customers worldwide. They have all the tools you need to compete at whichever level you choose to take your iRacing career. You can use code SpeedNetwork15 to save 15% on your Premier Racing Setups order. In the bottom right-hand corner, you see the iRacing logo. That's the fantastic platform that we get to use here on a weekly basis. None of this is possible without them. And then also our continued sponsor of our qualifying session, as well as another logo you see in the bottom right hand of your screen, Zozo's Miniatures. It's a home-based hobby and craft business that brings the small world to the big stage. They have things like handcrafted, homemade to scale items, custom jewelry, 3D printing services, laser cutting and etching services, custom seasonal decor. You can check them out at zozosminiatures.etsy.com or just search them up on Instagram. They have a code too. iRacing will save you 20%. That's 20% on your order from Zozo's Miniatures. Well, Cody, we've gotten to the end of the night. What did you think about the race, and what's your experience with the Milwaukee Mile? What can we expect next week?
So tonight was an amazing race, and the Milwaukee Mile, I have very little experience with it, and it's a flatter track like New Hampshire, so it'll be a lot more technical.
Yeah, I thought Jason put it really well about the technicality of it. He's somebody who's found success in our truck series on that track, so I fully expect him to continue to do the same here in these cars. Like I said, point standings will be updated on speedracingnetwork.com a couple minutes after we finish up the broadcast here. Also, exciting stuff coming down the pipe. We talked in the last couple weeks. We got planning season 8. Well, guess what? We are at the kind of ending stages of that planning. We are going to run the Xfinity car. We're going to have a 15 or 16 week schedule. That's still being decided on, with a playoff system in place, very similar to what you're seeing here. It's a $10 a week season. We're currently ironing out kind of some of the eligibility requirements for that. So the goal is to have all that wrapped up next week. So pre-race next week, we can relay and announce all that information about Season 8, at least the fall part of it, to our viewers here at Speed Racing Network. And then a couple weeks following that, we hope to have registration open with the efforts of starting a week or two after Labor Day for that fall season. So stay tuned to all that information. You can also go to all the Speed Racing Network social media channels to stay up to date on what we're up to and Season 8 plans and announcements. So on behalf of myself, the president of Speed Racing Network, Jonathan Byer, and my counterpart, Cody, we'd like to thank you for joining us in the virtual Kern County Raceway here this evening. We'll see you next week at Milwaukee.